currently work a 9 to 5 right now and you will want to do what you're doing right now for the next 20 years, drop a 1 in the chat. If you don't think that that is you and you feel like you want to have something to pass down to your kids, you want to have something to pass down to the next generation, and you also just want to live a nice life for yourself currently, you want to have your heaven on earth. Some of us want to live their heaven on earth. I'm going to just tell y'all about my parents, about my grandparents. A lot of my parents, my parents and my grandparents, basically, they were just existing. You get what I'm saying? They were just existing. So are you living or are you existing is the question. Now, if you want to just exist, literally you should jump off this live. You don't need to follow somebody like me because I'm a person that inspires, that motivates people to be self-sufficient. Meaning I like to teach people to earn their own money, meaning they don't get paid only 24 times in 365 days. Some people get paid 600 times in 365 days. Some people get paid 1,000 times in 365 days, and some people even more. Now, me in particular, I don't wait on a paycheck. I get checks. I don't wait on commerce. I create commerce. I don't wait on opportunities. I create opportunities. So if you want to learn how to create opportunities, drop opportunity in the chat. I want to teach y'all. I only want to teach the folks that are aligned with me. Because now this is when you start to get to people feeling like they're being sold. You get people feeling like they're being converted into a way of thinking. I want to only talk to the people who are aligned with me, who want to create opportunities, create money, create cash flow, create high credit scores, create high income activities. This is the people who I want to talk to, because if I talk to you, the frequencies won't align and you'll be in a position to where you won't like what you're hearing and your body naturally will fight the frequency because it sounds like static. When I'm talking, I don't want it to sound like static. I want it to sound like, oh my God, that's that 80s R&B, that 90s R&B, that's that, yes, sir. I want it to sound smooth as it's coming through y'all earways. If it doesn't sound smooth as it's coming through y'all earways, that probably means we're not aligned on the same frequency. And I like to be talking and associating myself with people who are on the same frequency. So me in particular, I do like making money. And not just a little bit of money. I like making a lot of money. Now, most people, I'm going to tell y'all, there's the 80% and then there's the top 20%. The 80% of people do not like to make a lot of money. 80% of people like to look like they make a lot of money. Now, there's a huge difference because as you can see on social media, if you were to go down your Instagram feed, you will see a whole bunch of people traveling, a whole bunch of people spending a lot of money, buying a lot of bags, buying a lot of chains, taking a lot of trips. But what you will find is those people are not the majority. Now, a majority of people who actually have money is only the top 20% of people. Now, it's even more money made in the top 1%. So now the difference between millionaire and billionaire is a large gap. And then the difference between the poor, rich, and middle class is also a larger gap. So as you can imagine, I give people opportunities to make lots of money every single day. And there's only a select group of people, which is why they call it the top 20%, that actually listen to what I say, execute on what I say, and then get results from what I say. This is why it's so important at the beginning of this call for me to establish for people who are aligned with me. If you like money, you should be here. If you want to have high quality conversations, relationships, credit, and business, you should be here. If not, this is where you leave. Okay? So now let's get right to it. Now, the first thing we got to understand on a Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. on the East Coast and 6 a.m. on the West Coast, the first thing you got to understand is the early bird gets the worm. I heard that so long living them, like growing up. I heard that from my parents. I heard that from everybody, and I never knew what it meant. I used to think it was the dumbest saying ever. Early bird gets the worm. What it means is when you wake up earlier than everybody else, what happens then? What are you able to do if you wake up earlier than everybody else? I want participation on this live. What are you able to do by waking up earlier than everybody else? What happens naturally? I want to see what happens. See if y'all know what's going on before I start teaching. What happens when you wake up earlier than everybody else? Nobody? Somebody said plan? Nah, that's not it. Let me see. Okay, don't worry about it. I'll tell you. The earlier you wake up, somebody talking about get the worm. The earlier you wake up, the less distractions you have, the less competition you have, right? So what does that mean? Normally, when you guys wake up around 9, 10, 11, 12 o'clock, everybody else is also awake. So now your phone is ringing, you're getting emails, you're getting messages, you're getting voicemails, and you got people posting on social media. You got a whole bunch of distractions. So, but I promise y'all this, I want y'all to try this. If you get up at 5 a.m. in the morning, I promise you, and you look out here, if I show you, like I'm gonna show y'all out my view real quick. Let me show you how it looks. So you see all of these cars going by right here. You see cars going by there, you see cars on the highway. You see all those cars on the highway, right? It's 9 o'clock now, so everybody's pretty much waking up and headed to work. Now, but what you got to understand is this. If you get up at 5 in the morning and I show you out this window, you won't see any cars. You also, you'll see 1 or 2 cars. You won't see 15, 20, 30 cars going by every second, which means there are less people awake to distract you, to call you, to email you, to text you, to distract you from your goals. So if you have a vision board like me right here, and you look at this, you get up at 5 a.m., you look at this vision board, and it says right here, start my LLC, do my business website, make my Google business page. Now, when I get up at 5 in the morning, I don't got nobody texting me, going live. I don't got nobody doing anything at 5 in the morning. Everybody sleep. So I get up and I'm able to put my phone on do not disturb without have to worry about missing anything. I can go ahead and just knock out that Google business page. I can knock out that business website. I can knock out all of the things that I need to do very, very fast. And then you're able to get more things done in 10 minutes than people are able to get done in an 8-hour shift at work. I promise you, just because you got up earlier than other people. The same thing goes for working out. If you get up and work out and you got a tough regimen, you about to do 50 push-ups, 5 sets of 50 push-ups. You about to do bench press. You about to do lat pull downs. You about to do all these heavy exercises. And now you got all the excuses in the world not to work out because all these people keep calling you. You keep getting DMs. People keep talking to you about Jada Pinkett. People keep fucking up your vibes because you are doing things when everybody else is awake to distract you. So getting up early not only helps you get to the worm first, it gets you to the worm undistracted. Pause. Because you are able to be able to focus. A lot of y'all don't have a money-making problem. Y'all have a focus problem. A lot of y'all don't have a focus problem. Y'all have a distraction problem. A lot of y'all don't have a distraction problem. Y'all don't have a get up and be disciplined problem. So this is the reality. I want y'all automatically right here by watching this live to understand the benefits, the pros to waking up at 5 a.m. or get up at 4 a.m. and then start your work day at 5 a.m. I promise you, if you get up at 5 a.m. and you send out your 50 offers for the day, you could do a text message campaign. You could do an email campaign. You could do a Facebook campaign where you literally go and message everybody. I want y'all to think about it like this. Every time you have ever posted a promotion to your business, there have been people that liked it, shared it, commented on it. It doesn't matter if it was 1 or 2 people. Every time you post it, there are people who are liking, comment, sharing, and all of these things of that nature. Imagine if you said, I'm going to get up at 5 a.m. every morning. I just want y'all to think about this. If you added this to your regimen, think about this. You get up every morning at 5 a.m. and you say, fuck it. I'm going to go to every promotional post that I ever post, every promotional reel that I ever posted, and I'm going to look at those people who liked it, commented, and shared it, and I'm going to send them a message and make an offer to them. I'm going to say, hey, I noticed that you liked this post, and I wanted to make sure you knew what we had to offer this week. Do you have time to book a call? Send them a Calendly link. Hey, I wanted to let you know that we have a special going on for Thanksgiving, Christmas, whatever the case may be. I wanted to give you our discount for being a loyal customer. They never even bought shit from you, but they liked your picture. They commented on a promotional business reel or Instagram. So imagine if you followed up with all those people every morning at 5 a.m. Would you make more money? Or drop a 1 if you think you doing that every morning would make you more money. Drop a 1 in the chat if you think if you got up at 5 a.m., went to every promotional post you ever did, found the people who liked, comment, or shared, and literally sent them a direct message making an offer to them. Do you think you would make more money or less money by doing that activity? You see? It's alignment. If you're about making more money, you will do the exercises that make you more money. See, the problem with a lot of us is we get the information that will make us more money, but the execution and the discipline to do it is the real problem. Y'all so damn distracted that when somebody gives you a play that you know for a fact will make you more money, we still won't get the fuck up and go do it. Right? So you got to think about it. It's 9 o'clock now. This is a great time for me to get on live. It's a lot of you guys just getting up. I've been up for hours. I already walked my dog. I already put some food in this thing. I already sent out 125 offers to different people who came through my emails, came through my text messages, came to my newsletter on my websites. I was able to promote not only my rental car business, but my Airbnb business, also my coaching business, also my credit repair service, and my website building service. I was able to promote all of that stuff before I got on this live, and now I'm talking to you guys and coaching you guys for free at 9 in the morning. You got to realize the early bird gets the worm is probably one of the realest sayings that all of us have heard, but none of us have executed on. Does that make sense? It's probably one of the best pieces of advice that we've heard, but never executed on. Some of y'all still, even after hearing this call, are going to get up even later tomorrow. Some of y'all, after hearing this call, you're going to follow up with less people tomorrow. Some of y'all, after hearing this call, you're going to be less disciplined tomorrow, even though we all agreed on this live that participating in the exercise would make us more money. Why do you think that is? I'm asking a sincere question, so I want participation here. I'm asking a sincere question. Why do you think that is? Why do you think, even though we know that this will make us more money, we won't do that tomorrow? Why do we think that is? I'm telling y'all know the answer. How come we know that a majority of the people on this live will still get up and not do anything different tomorrow? It has nothing to do with procrastination. It has nothing to do with procrastination. Somebody said no faith, possibility. Hard habits to break, possibility. Lack of discipline. Somebody said we afraid. Look at that. We afraid to make more money. And this is a real thing. I was in the situation, y'all. I was in the situation. Somebody said we are afraid to make more money. I was afraid to make more money, y'all. Y'all know what I was worried about? It was a lot of things being said when it came to money. A lot of people were telling me that, oh, more money, more problems. A lot of people were making me scared. When I was in the rooms with people talking about $100,000, it scared me. People was talking about $500,000, it scared me. People was talking about $1 million, it scared me. And I never felt the courage to be able to take the risk of trying to make more money because I never touched it. I never had it in my hands. I didn't think I was worthy of it. So that's why I was scared of it. I didn't think that I was worthy of making millions of dollars. I didn't think I was worthy. But let me tell you what happened that helped me realize that I was worthy. When I started working 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, driving Uber, I felt like I put the work in. When I started risking my credit, getting multiple cars on my credit just to go out there and start a business with them, I felt like I was worthy of it because I was spending so much money, so much time, so much effort, so much energy on building this business that I felt like I was worthy of making $100,000 now, $500,000 now. I was taking risks. The loans that I was getting on cars were $150,000, $200,000. I said, I think I should be making $1 million now because I'm now out here actually doing things that are worthy of making millions of dollars back. I was spending $1 million on myself. I spent $70,000 just to get mentored. You get what I'm saying? And then after I spent $70,000 on trying to get educated, I then made $500,000 2 weeks later. And I said, damn, I am worthy of this type of money. I am worthy of it. So I don't have nothing to be scared of. I was scared of taxes too. Remember they said the more money, the more taxes you got to pay. You got to be worried about the audits. You got to be worried about the IRS. And all of these things are scare tactics to keep the people who are the less income, the people who make the less income, more fearful, and it keeps the broke and it makes the rich richer. That's a fear tactic. Things like this: recession, fear tactic, right? Scarcity, which is people being oversaturated, scare tactic. These are scare tactics to make people who are making little income to never go out there and try to make more. Saying that, 80% of entrepreneurs fail as a business owner, scare tactics, right? I want to ask everybody here on this live, how many times have you participated in the U.S. Census Bureau? How many times? When they send the U.S. Census Bureau people to your door to knock on your door, and they want to see who's in the house, what's the income, and you have to answer these surveys and then turn it back in. How many times have you guys participated in the U.S. Census Bureau? I'm going to tell y'all, me, myself, 100%, I have never done it. So that means when they are out here giving y'all statistics like 80% of entrepreneurs do this, 90% of single women do this, these numbers are 100% inaccurate. These are scare tactics. These are fluff numbers. These are unreal in any way. So whenever you see somebody say 80% of people who are employed are making this salary, you have zero data to show that these numbers are 100% correct. They take a small sample group of people. Listen to me. They take a small sample group of people who do participate and use those numbers to create an algorithm where they can guess how many people are making what and are doing what and are still staying in business. So when they say the average business is 3 years old, these numbers are flawed. There are so many. How many people who we know in the street right now who have a business, but they've never started an LLC? Never started an S Corp, never started a C Corp, but they are making money, been making money for years. They've been an entrepreneur because everybody doesn't do everything by the book because they haven't been educated how to do it by the book. They haven't been mentored on how to actually structurally put their business in position to actually go up. That's why people like you, we need mentorship, and it just is what it is. Whenever we hear the word mentorship, why is it that we feel like we got to run? You ever felt like that? I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna just talk about myself. When I used to hear about mentorship or coaching, or somebody say they trying to help me with business, I used to run. I used to dip. It used to literally make my stomach hurt. Like, oh man, this man got to make me spend money on something, and I thought I was too good for it. Just imagine being broke with a 400 credit score, being too good to be educated by somebody who's made more than I made. And that's how a majority of us are. It's something that's embedded in us. It's structurally, like they literally brainwash us to run when someone is trying to educate us on business, money, commerce, credit. It's literally something that they've done with programming. And I'm telling y'all, I was a victim of this for years. Like I just said, imagine being a person who don't got 2 nickels to rub together, no high credit score, but I'm too good to go to a budgeting meeting. I'm too good to go to a credit meeting. I'm too good to pay for somebody to educate me on something that they had to learn. They had to go and study here, pay for this, pay for that, learn under this dude for years to learn. And then they come back and teach me. And now they have kids, they got obligations, they got people who have got to literally, they have to take care of, but somehow their time shouldn't be important to me. So I shouldn't have to pay them for their time, even though they have all these things. Makes no sense. So I was a victim of this. So whenever somebody talked about mentorship, I literally would cut the TV off. I would run away. I would go play basketball. I'm going to tell y'all literally, when I first got some mentorship, and it was free, but necessarily it wasn't free because my chief had to pay him to come to the jail. Y'all got to realize, like, we think shit be free. Look, my chief paid a multimillionaire to come to the jail and teach us about credit, budgeting, and finance. While I'm working at the jail, my salary was like $60K a year, and I did overtime, so I made more than that. But long story short, I'm like, okay, I got to go to a free budgeting meeting. This nigga was paid to come to the jail to talk to us. And then when he talks to us, I'm over there like this. I want to go to my jail cell. I want to go work in my cell. I'm supposed to be in 3 Northeast today. Take me to 3 Northeast. Why the fuck I got to go to a budgeting meeting? Now, look, this is me as a 24-year-old. Listen to me. This is me as a 24-year-old, broke because I'm living check to check. It is what it is. I made good money, but I spent every single dollar that I made every time I got paid. Every time I got paid, I did something new to my Jeep. Every time I got paid, I paid my light bill, my water bill. I paid my rent. I paid for my car note. I paid for everything I had to pay for. And I was living check to check, making good money. I had my own apartment, but my credit score was 490. So every time I had to move into an apartment, I had to pay the highest rate and I had to pay the highest deposit. So long story short, they said, my chief said, y'all got to go to a mandatory budgeting meeting. I said, man, what the fuck I need a budgeting meeting for? I'm rich. This is what I'm low-key basically saying, because I'm saying I don't need to go to a budgeting meeting. Now, let me tell you how this budgeting meeting changed my whole entire life. And I had to go thank Chief Labat. I recently thanked him again. So I went to Chief Labat and I told him, I thank you for forcing me, making me go to a budgeting meeting that changed my life. And we don't know what we don't know. We are all victims of what we don't know. So I had to go thank my chief. He's now like the sheriff. Like he's like the sheriff of like, you know, Gwinnett County or Fulton County or something like that. The fire marshal or some shit crazy high. He's always moving up. But he forced me to go and he paid that man to come speak. So long story short, I thank him and then I go to this meeting. So when I go in this meeting, I'm sitting there like, I don't give a damn about no budgeting meeting, dog. What I need a budgeting meeting for? And then the dude finally say this, yo, what's going on with the Dow Jones today? What's going on in the stock market? This is the first question he asked. I just want y'all to know how dumb I was, how ignorant I was to business, commerce, money. I didn't even know what the Dow was. I didn't know what the Dow was. I didn't know what the Dow Jones was at all. He said, what's going on with the stock market today? Every single person in the room, we all correction officers, chiefs, majors, sergeants, we all up in the room. He said, what's going on with the stock market? And I said, nobody said nothing. The whole room was quiet as a fuck. He said, if I was in a room full of millionaires, everybody's hand in here would have been raised. And then he just sat quiet. He just sat there quiet. He said, if I was in a room full of millionaires, everybody's hand would have been like this. I said, bet. He got my attention. Then he proceeds to talk about credit. He talks about budgeting. He talks about how much percentage of your salary you should be saving every paycheck. And when he said that to me, I was like, how could I ever save any of my paycheck? Because I got to spend it all every month. He said, realistically, if you're making this much money, he used our salary. He said, realistically, if you're making this much money, you got to save this much, you got to invest this much, and you got to use this much to pay your bills. And I said, well, if I do that, I'm going to go broke because I got to pay for this apartment. I got to pay for this car note. I got to pay for my lights, my water. I got to pay for my lifestyle. How can I save that much money? Ignorance. I was ignorant. So I didn't know. I had to be mentored. I had to get somebody to teach me. And after this meeting, I was like, all right, bet. I said, so you know what? I felt vulnerable. I felt like I could be vulnerable with this guy. I respected him. And he was the messenger who could give me the message that I needed to hear. Not that I wanted to hear. He wasn't going to be like my mom and say, you doing so good, you got a government job. He wasn't going to be like my dad and say, oh, you doing so good, bro. You got that good government check, bro. Keep doing your thing. He wasn't going to do like my friends because I was making more money than my friends. He wasn't going to do like my siblings because I was making more money than my siblings. He wasn't telling me that I was doing great as a correction officer. He said, yo, listen. You need to get your credit. I told him I had a 490 credit score, and every time I apply for a credit card, they always deny me. Whenever I got to apply for an apartment, they always got to give me a bigger deposit. Every time I apply for a home, they always deny me. What can I do? He told me exactly what to do. And you know why he was able to tell me exactly what to do? You know why my mom, my dad, and my siblings or anybody, my friends couldn't tell me? Because they haven't done it. They didn't own their homes. They didn't have an 850 credit score. They didn't have the money he had. They couldn't even educate me. They couldn't answer my question. They couldn't fix my question. They couldn't fix me. So I had to go to someone who was coming back from where I'm trying to go. So he told me, he said, look, all you got to do is this. And he told me exactly what to do. He said, for the next 6 months, do this. And I said, bet. And I did exactly what he said. And when I did exactly what he said, guess what happened? My credit score went up to a 700. My mailbox started to get all of these people sending me letters on pre-approvals. I started getting people reaching out to me in my email with pre-approvals for cars, pre-approvals for different credit cards with 15% APR rate, interest rates for a year, right? Things of that nature. So I started to get results from what he told me. So this led me down a rabbit hole of education. So now I felt like I didn't know anything. I was a victim of what I didn't know. I got approved for my Venture One credit card and I was stuck in Philly. I went to go see my dad in Philly, and I wanted to go fly back home, but I didn't have enough money. So I applied for a credit card thanks to that man's knowledge. And when I applied for that credit card, I got approved for a $5,000 credit limit. And then once I flew back to from Philly to Atlanta, I was like, yo, this shit really works. I need to really educate myself on how to do this with my personal, how to do this with my business, everything. And then I went down this rabbit hole, which led me to where I am today. And now I'm a multimillionaire, and I make millions of dollars every year. And it's like, I've been able to make not 1 million, not 2 million, but over $10 million. And it's so crazy that it all started from me working a job. Like I just told y'all, it's a means to an end. I worked a job, and then my chief paid someone. Listen to what I'm saying. I was working a job, and my chief saw it fit to take the budget from the city of Atlanta corrections. He said, I'm going to use this budget to pay this multimillionaire to come speak to my employees to empower them. And he was very big on empowering us. He used to always tell me as a young dude, I was 24 years old. He was like, yeah, you need to go back to college. You need to do this. You need to be looking into this. You need to be looking into fix and flips. He was always talking like that. And I did not respect him though at the time. I did not respect the chief because he was like at a position that I could see myself getting to if I kept working through up the ranks. He was in a position that if I felt like if I worked and went to sergeant, I went to lieutenant, went to major, then I can go to chief. I felt like his position, how much he made was something that I could get to. So I didn't respect him. But when he brought that multimillionaire in there, he paid. He used his page. He used the budget for the company to literally get him to come talk to us. So then once he come talk to us, he put me on game with the credit game. He put me on game with the home ownership game. He put me on game with everything, with budgeting. And I was like, damn, look at how much shit I didn't know. And how much will that cost me? Look how much that cost me. I was living check to check. I was on food stamps right before that. I had unemployment right before I worked at the jail. I was living with one of my homies and shit who I used to work at Urban Outfitters because when I moved back from Philly, I had to move in with him, and he luckily let me live with him. He luckily let me live with him. He was like, yeah, you can come crash on the couch. I said, I only need a couple months. I'm going to crash on the couch, and I'm going to get me a spot soon. Soon as I get this job at the jail, I'm good. So my homie, Cameron, he hooked me up. I stayed with him at the 12 in Midtown. He let me sleep on his couch. I waited until I got that job at the jail. Once I got the job at the jail, I was going. I got my own spot again. You got to think about what you had to do. Look at what I had to come from to now where I own multiple mansions. I own multiple six-figure cars. I own multiple. I buy whatever I want. I'm buying a new car today. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's just amazing because, like, how much did that cost me? I was a victim of what I didn't know. Look what would have happened if I'd been paid that man to teach me? What would have happened? I want to ask y'all a question. What would have happened if I been paid him? If I been paid that dude to teach me about credit? If I been paid that dude to teach me about budgeting? If I been told him? I been did what? How much time? How much money? How much sacrifice? How many couches did I had to sleep on? How much food stamps did I had to get? How much did I had to struggle? If I would have just paid him, what would have happened? I would have been in a better position even to today. I would have believed in myself that much more. I would have had that many more only quality people relationships. I would have had that much more credit, that much more money in my bank, that much more history, credit history, ages of credit. That means that I would have had more millions. And that's my thing. We got to realize that, like, and you know, I just put a post up yesterday about it, and I talked about the thing that keeps me going is the thought that I used to be on food stamps and I used to have to act like I was broker than I was to get more money on food stamps. I want y'all to think about this. The thing that keeps me motivated, The thing that makes me keep working harder, because a lot of my friends always call me and say, yo, Mitch, your work ethic is crazy. Yo, you always going so consistent. I see you working. I see you having events. I see you running your rental car business, your Airbnb business. I see you building people's websites, funnels, all of this stuff. You never stop, and you still going live, and you still post on YouTube. He said, your work ethic is crazy. I say every single time I think about taking my foot off the gas, I remember having to get food stamps and act broker than I was to get more money on food stamps. When you go to Snaps and you fill out the application for food stamps, they ask you how much you making. You get more food stamps if you say you don't make anything. You don't have a job, you have no source of income, and you don't live, you live with your mom or you live with somebody else. You feel me? And I remember and I was proud. I remember bragging about this. Like, this shit making me emotional right now, but for real, I got to tell y'all this. I was proud. My friend group, this is my friend group that I had. I was so excited and ecstatic to say, you ain't getting as much as me on food stamps. I was happy. I was bragging, and my homies was mad. They was like, yo, that's crazy. How you get that much? That's who my friend group was. That's who my mentors was. That's what my motivation was. That's who my competition was. So where was I going to be headed to? Everybody on this live is a product of their environment, and this is just a fucking reality. If you look at your 6 closest friends, look at how much money your friends got in their bank account, your 6 closest friends. Look at their credit score of your 6 closest friends. Look at the assets of your 6 closest friends, and that's your pinnacle. That's the most money you'll ever make. That's the most credit you'll ever have. That's the most assets you'll ever have. Look at your last 6 text messages. Look at your last 6 DMs. That's exactly where you're headed towards. Just go look at it right when you get off this live. That's exactly where you're headed towards. Somebody said cap. I'm not even going to explain to this person why I know this is 100% fact. Because I can tell y'all this. If your 6 closest friends had 7 figures, there's no way you wouldn't make 7 figures. If your 6 closest friends only live check to check, there's no way you won't live check to check. Guaranteed. Because they're your homies. That's who you talk to. That's y'all got to think about everything we do. A lot of our friends, we even buy the same shoes. We go to the same type of concerts. We hang at the same type of restaurants. Shit is easy. I remember when flannels was popular, the flannel shirts. Me and all my homies, we was rocking flannels. Jordans was popular. Me and all my homies got the J's. Matter of fact, when we be going out, we be looking the same. We be having the Cartiers. All of us got the Cartiers. Shit just easy. It's called osmosis. So you got to realize that if you and all of your friends don't have a mentor, none of y'all going to get to the chicken. Y'all hear what I'm saying? None of y'all. It's not just going to be you. If your friend don't got a mentor, if your friend ain't getting no type of higher education than where they are, you are operating off the information that you already have. And if you already have the information right now and you're not a millionaire, I can promise you that it won't magically come unless you hit the lottery. You're going to have to hit the lottery. You're going to have to get hit by a bus. You're going to have to get hit by a Walmart truck. And you're going to have to sue, and you're going to have a good lawyer, and you're going to have to win. Somebody said, how do you make friends with people in a higher bracket? That's very easy. Let me explain it to you right now. First thing that I started doing when I wanted to get OQP friends, OQP stands for only quality people. The first thing I had to do, I started hanging out at a gym that was very expensive. Lifetime Fitness. It costs $250 a month just to go to the gym there. People who can afford that, they are living a different lifestyle. Therefore, by default, I'm going to have more quality friends or people who make more money in my radius. So I went to go play basketball at Lifetime Fitness. Before I can afford $250 a month, what I did was I got the 2-week pass. So I would go there for free for 2 weeks and I would go and network. I would go meet people. The next thing I would do, I would go to $1 million listings and I would go to open houses. Open houses it's free to the public to come and shop around for anybody who is in the market to buying one of the houses. You can go and see when an open house, or you can go to redfin.com, you can go to zillow.com, see when the next open houses are on the $1 million listings, and you can go there and network. Next thing you can do, which is also free, you can go to St. Regis, go to the most expensive hotel in your city. Go to the most expensive hotel in your city, get you a laptop. Like I got a laptop I'm sitting right here in front of. I take my laptop and I go work right there. I go sit in St. Regis in a lobby and I sit there and go work. I put me a nice watch on. That's going to be a conversation starter. I sit there and work, and then I network inside of the lobby. Same thing goes for if I want to go to a Rolls Royce dealership, a Lamborghini dealership, and I go in there and I network. I go there and I meet OQP, only quality people. I'm going to just let you know right now, broke niggas is not hanging out at the Rolls Royce dealership other than me being up in that motherfucker. Broke niggas is not hanging out in a Lamborghini dealership other than me up in that motherfucker. Broke niggas is not having memberships at Lifetime Fitness other than me around this motherfucker. Broke niggas is not working in St. Regis other than me around this motherfucker. So I'm going to be up in there doing my networking thing, and then by default, because I'm having conversations with these people, because I'm talking, I'm hanging out, I'm making arrangements to go and further our relationship, I'm going to, by default, be hanging around people who make more money than me. If you are the leader of your circle, if you make the most money in your crew, you will 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 9, you will not grow. Your income will not increase. Your bank account will not increase. Your credit score will not increase because everybody is pulling from you and you're not pulling from anyone. That means that your relationship with your friends is not iron sharpens iron. Everybody is getting sharpened by you. You're like that little belt that they use to make knives sharper. You're the belt and your friends are the knives. So they're just literally swiping across you, and so they can make that knife more sharp. And they're getting better. They're getting smarter. They're growing, but you are going down because you are releasing too much to them. You are giving them money, probably resources, relationships. And instead of you growing, you are going down. They're catching up to you. You're not catching up to anyone else because you don't have nobody up above you to teach you and close that information gap between you and them. This is why we all have mentors. I have mentors. My mentor who makes 9-figure, he has a mentor. His mentor has a mentor. And we literally are constantly growing and building relationships and going to the next level. We are not content being where we are. You have to be a person who wants to grow, which is why when I started this live, I said, if you are a person who doesn't like growth, who doesn't like making money, who doesn't want more for themselves, who doesn't want a higher credit score, who doesn't want to scale their business, if that doesn't entertain you, this is where you probably get off the live or unfollow me, because this is all I talk about is inspiration. Inspiration, exposure. And what does exposure equals? Exposure equals expansion, right? Somebody said, I'm their mentor. If you haven't paid me, I'm not your mentor. I'm just going to put that out there. I might be someone who inspires you. I might be someone who influences you. I might be someone who educates you. I might even be someone who you look up to, but I am not your mentor if you haven't paid me. Why? Because me and you can't get on the phone and have a call and I can't answer your questions. If you're concerned about something, I can't answer it. If you want to know about something, if something happens to you and you want help through the situation, I can't help you because if you haven't paid me, I have virtual assistants that I got to pay, employees. I have my mom mortgage I got to pay. I got to take care of myself, my girl, my obligations, my bills. And I need to be in places to where all of those things can be getting paid for. So me spending time with you, answering your questions for free is not in alignment with what I have going on with myself. It's out of respect. So now I want you guys to understand this. I'm in a position to where I have information that a lot of you guys do not have. Now, I don't expect you guys to be able to get all of the information that I know. Now, if you guys feel like, I just want to put it out there, I make over $10 million a year. If I make over $10 million a year, if you can get 1% of what I know, would that be beneficial to you? Just 1%. This is how serious the information gap I'm talking about means. If I make over $10 million a year, I want to ask y'all this question. Would it be worth your time to learn 1% of what I know? 1%. 1%. And if it is, then that makes sense. If it's not, then that doesn't make sense. Because what is 1% of 10 million? Somebody tell me that. What is 1% of 10 million? Let's just make sure I know what's going on here. What's 1% of 10 million? Somebody said it's always good to learn. Let me tell y'all something. It's not, I'm also piggyback off that. It's not even always good to learn. It's always good to execute. See, the thing about it is this. You guys don't have a lack of information. You guys are getting educated every day. Y'all just don't pay attention when y'all getting educated. Y'all just don't execute on when y'all getting educated. Y'all have the access to Google, YouTube, Fiverr, all of these different websites, and you guys do not execute on them. Y'all have the information. So this is the real reason why mentorship is important. And I'm going to tell y'all this right now. Mentorship is beyond education. Mentorship is beyond learning. Mentorship is a confidence builder. And this is what I'm trying to tell y'all. Just like I told y'all earlier, a lot of y'all get information and y'all don't execute on it. It's not because the information doesn't work. It's not because you can't do it. It's because you haven't found a mentor that you can borrow their confidence. Meaning, if you get the same information as Joe, Jan, and Sam, but you the only one who got me as your mentor, and you about to go run a play, and I say this, you can do it because I've done it. Think about this. You're borrowing my confidence because you ain't going to go run no play. You're not going to walk in no bank and get no $1 million loan. You're not going to walk in no bank and get no $1 million house because you're going to be too scared. But now you're going to borrow my confidence. When I say, listen, you can do it because I've done it. I gave you the strategy. I gave you the steps. It's going to work. And I know that you can do it because I've done it. Go do it. Now, because you have me to mentor you and you can borrow my confidence, you're going to go do it with 100% confidence. Not because you believe in yourself, but because you believe in me. Because you believe that I've done it and you respect me. So because I told you to go run a play, you will go do it with 100% confidence because I have let you borrow mine. Now, Joe, Jam, and Sam, they not going to go do it. They just going to hear the information. All they're going to do is listen to the information and then just be like, oh, that's dope. That's cool. They're going to tell their sister about it. They're going to tell their brother about it, their mom, and everybody who is not aligned with what I'm talking about is going to tell them that that's a scam. They're going to tell them that it doesn't work. They're going to tell them that they knew this one guy from twice removed from the family that did it and it didn't work for them. This is why a mentor is important. I told you it's beyond education. It's past education. Y'all got to think about that. It's past education. So you got to realize that not only is you need to get okay. Just to make sure y'all can still hear me, drop a 1 in the chat. Just to make sure you can still hear me, drop a 1 in the chat. Drop a 1 in the chat if you can still hear me. And I can keep going. Okay, cool. So I just want to make sure y'all understand that this shit is past education. And I don't want y'all to think that I'm talking about myself. Y'all don't have to get mentored by Pushman Mitch. And this is what I'm big on. And I know y'all know this about me. I'm very passionate about education. I'm very passionate about helping people who come from where I come from, people who come from the mindset that I used to have. You need to find someone that is coming back from where you're trying to go. It doesn't have to be me. You hear me? But I don't want you to depend on what you know, doing it your way to get to the next level. Because if you already knew what to do and you already had the confidence, the education, and execution to do it, you would already be there. So this is why I'm saying you need to find someone. You need to find someone who you look up to, who you can be influenced by, and take the good messaging and the bad messaging. I want y'all to find that person, find that group, find that community, Join it and level up and start today. Why would you not start today? That's my problem. What are you waiting for? Stop saying you waiting for the right amount of money. Stop saying you waiting for the right amount of credit. There's no better time than today. All of y'all agree with me about that. If I would have got to that meeting and paid that guy earlier, I would have been making more money today, and I make over $10 million. You get what I'm saying? I would have already been at the 9-figure mark. I would have already been there. You talking about $100 million? I would have already been there. But no, I'm still not there because I started when I started. I started a lot later. I invested in mentorship a lot older. You get what I'm saying? Imagine if I did it earlier. Now, every single year I invest in mentorship. Every single year. I have to constantly upgrade my iOS system. Who has a phone and they haven't upgraded their iOS system on it? What starts to happen to the phone? Naturally, the phone slows down. The phone doesn't have the right amount of processing systems to have every single app on the phone. So you can't get the latest information. You can't get the latest app. You can't get the latest speeds. You got to upgrade the iOS system every year or you won't be able to use the newer systems. You won't be able to move how everybody else is moving, and you're going to have to deal with how it used to work 20 years ago. Guess what happened to Blockbuster? They tried to move like that and they got took over by Netflix. They got took over by Redbox. They got took over by people who kept upgrading their iOS system. You cannot get comfortable. You have to constantly know the latest information. You need to know what's going on with AI technology. Y'all think that, look, they got ChatGPT. What are we seeing every day? Google has come up with with their own competition for ChatGPT. Amazon has just launched their own competition for ChatGPT. What, they're already a $1 trillion company. They don't got to change nothing, right? Wrong. Amazon, $1 trillion evaluation on the company, but they still have to keep upgrading and staying up with the times. But you think you as an entrepreneur or a business person don't have to constantly keep upgrading your iOS system. Well, I'm here to tell you that you are wrong. Everything that we've been taught growing up about business, money, credit was wrong. And you got to get out of this habit to thinking that somebody's going to bless you for free. Stop, get out of that mindset. People are not going to do anything for you because everybody is looking out for self. Everybody is the main character in their own movie. They're the protagonist, and anybody other than them is the antagonist. You get what I'm saying? We got to start building ourselves up. You can't build yourself up less than you build up your business. So a lot of people be trying to get business credit and business funding. My personal credit is messed up, but I want to start working on my business credit. You cannot build a business up more than you build up yourself. So you constantly have to grow your personal development. Everybody say personal development in the chat. I want to make sure everybody got this. This is very important. I know you won't learn this in school. When you in school, you learn about chemistry and trigonometry and fucking legislature, all the judicial system, social studies, stupid shit like that you are not going to use in real life. Personal development is something that doesn't end once you get one mentor. That doesn't end once you get one course. That doesn't end once you go to one mastermind. That doesn't end once you go to one conference. That doesn't end once you meet that one business deal that goes right. It doesn't end. It's something that is consistently going. You have to consistently, personally develop. If you started your company and you've never made 5 figures, once you've made 5 figures, you need to get development to get to 6 figures. Once you've made 6 figures, you need to get development to get to 7 figures. Once you made 7 figures, you need to get development to get to 8 figures. You will not be able to get it off of your own information. You need new information from someone who's already done it. I'm telling y'all, I'm trying to help y'all save time. I'm trying to help y'all save time, save money by making you spend money on personal development. Spend time on personal development. Spend time on credit. Spend money on credit. All of these things you have to do for yourself. I can't do it for you. I cannot make you have my characteristics. I can teach you how to make money all day. I can teach you how to send in disputes to get your credit up all day. I can teach you how to run a business and start a website and start automation and funnels and get your followers up. I can show you how to get 1 million followers in fucking 6 months. But I cannot make you execute on the information that I told you. I cannot make you be disciplined. I cannot make you show up every day. I cannot make you talk nice to customers. I cannot make you file your taxes. I cannot make you do your bookings, your books and your accounting. I cannot make you hire the right folks. I can't make you do that stuff. The only thing I can say is education on me, execution on you. The reality is a lot of it is up to you. And y'all don't realize that. This shit not up to me. You being wealthy isn't up to me. Even when I got my mentees and they make $1 million, they make their first 7 figures, they make their first 6 figures, I'll be like, look, yeah, I helped you with this, but it wasn't me. You know what I'm saying? I helped you with this, but it wasn't me. It was you. You decided to be disciplined. You decided to execute. You decided to believe. You decided to show up every day. You decided to keep working when the shit got boring. You decided to keep working when you got out of the honeymoon phase. You decided to keep posting that content. You decided to keep sending those emails, those text messages, those follow-ups. You decided to be a good person, to have integrity. You decided to show up. I can't do this shit for you. And I'm never going to lie and say that. There's a few things you're never going to hear me say. You can get rich overnight. I'm not going to say that. You can do this shit passively. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that I created a millionaire, but I definitely help influence, inspire, and educate plenty of millionaires. So I want you guys to know that I want you guys to be able to be successful, but you're never going to hear me saying that I can do it for you. You got to do it yourself. You got to want it. You got to want wealth. You got to be obsessed with it. You got to be obsessed with growth. This is why I watch anime. I'm going to just be real with y'all. I watch anime to help me personally develop and keep going. Because when you watch, I'm going to just give y'all examples. I don't know if y'all know animes. Naruto, you watch Naruto, he wants to become the Hokage. That's like the mayor of the town. He wants to become the mayor. And for him to become the mayor, he has to train every day. He has to go through trials and tribulations. He can't give up. He has to keep working even though he's getting his ass whooped. He going to keep being disciplined every day until he doesn't become the Hokage until he's a grown-ass man and the motherfucker trying to become the Hokage for fucking 400 episodes. Dragon Ball Z, you watch Goku, he wants to become stronger. He wants to be the strongest person. For him to become the strongest person, he got to keep training. He got to keep developing. He got to keep challenging people that are stronger than him. This is what helps me with my development. I swear on my life, I watch anime. I watch people literally go from being little kids to becoming an adult and becoming super strong, having different techniques. And none of them do it by just sitting there like this. Every one of them got to get their ass whooped. Every one of them got to go through shit where people stab them in the back. People take advantage of them. And they still got to go and keep going regardless of the fact, regardless of the matter. It reminds me a lot of real life. Because no matter what level that I went to, nothing ever went as planned. I had to keep going. People stole from me, robbed me, talked bad about me. They literally made posts about me. You got people that literally lie on you. You got people who literally manipulate you, use you. It's so many things that are going to happen. So why would I stop? Why would I stop? I've been through all of that. I got fucked up. I got my nose bust. I got my lip bust. Why would I stop? I've been through all of that stuff and you going to just stop? You've been through all of that stress. You've been through all of the people doubting you, calling you crazy, and you going to just stop and let them win? You've been through all of that? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine? And I know y'all can because a lot of y'all do it. Y'all stop after like 3 months of running a business. But can you imagine being lied to, stolen from, manipulated, stressed out? You spent all your money on it. You spent all your time, your energy. You told people you was going to do it. They laughed at you in your face. They spit on your name. They tried to stop your bags. They tried to act like they know you, but they don't know you. And they said that your business wasn't what your business is. And then you literally give up. Can you imagine that? And you stop and you don't go get the bag that you want, that you deserve. I can't imagine that. That's why I'm always going to keep going no matter what happens. So for those who are on this live, who stuck on this live and really want to make money, comment that in the chat. I want it. If you really want it and you really care about yourself, your family, your friends, your legacy, and you want it, say I want it. Comment I want it. Like, because you got to really be obsessed with this shit. You got to really, really want this. I had the people closest to me stealing from my business bank account. Closest to me. I got people that I gave houses, cars, money, jewelry, clothes to literally take my business bank account and spend that shit like it was theirs. And then laughed at me right in my face. Did I do anything that was going to hinder my brand? Did I do anything to spite them? No. Only thing I had to do was keep going. If you want it, say I want it. You got to claim this stuff. You got to say it out loud. You got to mean it. You got to embody this thing. This stuff has to become you. Success, business, financial literacy, personal development has to become you. You have to be obsessed with it. You get what I'm saying? You have to be obsessed with this growth. If you're not, it won't work. That's why I'm telling y'all to say I want it. And me just telling y'all that simple exercise, only a couple of y'all said I want it. Only a couple of y'all. And that's why only a couple of us make it. That's why only a couple of us can be on a private jet. Everybody can get on the damn commercial plane for Delta or Spirit or for whatever the airlines are. Anybody can get on those planes, but only a couple people can get on a private jet. Only 6 to 8 people can get on that PJ. Who gonna be my 6 to 8 people that literally level up? Who's the next success story? Who's the next person to take it to the next level? If you want to take it to the next level and learn how I do what I do on social media, just comment the word boost. Everybody who wants to learn how I do what I do on the highest level on social media and turn my followers to dollars, just comment the word boost. I'm about to teach y'all right now on this live about automation right now. So if you don't know about automation, I'm going to use what's called automation right here on this live. You comment the word boost, and literally as soon as you comment the word boost, you're automatically going to get a DM sent to you. That's called automation. And I'm trying to show you guys this because you don't have this type of automation. You don't have this type of functionality. I want you guys to have this type of functionality. I want you guys to have this stuff already in your businesses. I want you to have this stuff I want you to know this stuff like how you ride a bike. And some of y'all don't do it. I've been teaching this stuff for years now. And some of y'all really laugh in my face because y'all don't execute on the information I give. And then y'all get mad when y'all don't get the results that you say that you want. It's time for y'all to add all of these things to y'all bag. It's time for y'all to have these money-making magnets added to your bag. It's time. And again, like I said, man, I'm getting everything set up for next month. We're going to Puerto Rico. I sold damn near all of the seats for Puerto Rico. So what we did was I told people yesterday about this, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be the last day that I can promote this. We're going to Puerto Rico to learn high-ticket sales, automation. And I wanted to invite I only got 8 seats left. So for the last 8 seats, it's only $1,000. If you want to come to Puerto Rico November 16th to the 18th, just DM me Puerto Rico. I'll send you the private link you get it for $1,000. And you can come join us in Puerto Rico and learn high ticket sales. It's going to be a mastermind. You're going to be out there with the Black Club. I'm helping y'all level up. And like I said, for the first 5 people that do that, I'm going to add y'all to a 5-week mentorship. So if you want to get into my 5-week mentorship and come to Puerto Rico, just DM me Puerto Rico. I'm going to go ahead and get you locked in. I hope everybody enjoyed this live. If you haven't followed me on YouTube yet, my YouTube is called No Fluff the Podcast. Everybody on here needs to go ahead and subscribe to that real quick so you can get to see these videos again. Talk to y'all soon. Much love. See y'all in Puerto Rico. We out.